Toastmasters and our guests here today. It's my privilege to present to you Glenn Pearce. He's a past district director and someone I look up to in terms of when he first started in area directors, which is quite a number of years ago. I too was an area director back then, and then just to see where he's progressed from here on is just incredible. So please welcome Glenn Pearce.
Thank you, and welcome Toastmasters. So, why a Distinguished Toastmaster Award? What did I personally gain from this? I gained experiences, learnings, and most importantly, milestones along the way, my journey as a Toastmaster. So today I'm going to talk about, why this is the beginning of my journey. So some people say DTM's the end. It's definitely not the beginning. It's definitely it's a lot more to it than you think. And I respect there's a lot more learnings along the way. And I'm learning today as I'm kind of recording myself, I'm going to just test myself afterwards and see how I went with this. But this is another learning which is part of what we do in Toastmasters. So what we've done back when we first started is quite different then. So this is hence why a DTM is a real opportunity for people. So there is a whole lot of stuff I want to talk about today, and there's a whole lot of detail, so I'm not going to go too much into that. We'll just go through as I go through it. So, what is the secret to starting a DTM? Just getting started. It's pretty simple, isn't it? So often there's this thing of just getting started. How do you know that? So this quote I saw this on the Toastmasters website, and I thought it was a really appropriate way to understand how do you just get started. Now, this is a Distinguished Toastmaster Award, what you take off on the website. You can obviously download this, you can download this yourself and have a look at it. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of detail there, and I'm not expecting to read all this at the moment because I'll be breaking it down a bit further. What I will say is that there is a whole lot of stuff here, and there's three things I want you to think about in this process: planning, commitment, and networking. Just keep these in mind when you're doing it as a DTM, because sometimes you have to think about that planning, commitment, and networking are really, really key things to what we do in Toastmasters. And I'll explain as I go through. So what is our first step in a DTM? Complete 2 pathways. Show of hands, who's at least completed one path in this room? Yeah, a few? That's great. So the first step is obviously making sure you complete a pathway, and the next step is making sure you complete 2 full pathways. And this is going all the way through and actually completing them. And I know sometimes we set up 4 or 5 sections, so it's just making sure we do finish them. And this is where planning is really, really key. You're actually making sure you're looking for opportunities, and even go beyond your club as well. So don't always stick on your club. There's always a chance of club officer training, other events you might think about. So always think about those opportunities as well. There are 6 are past there, but they're obviously the older paths you may have started, but we can still complete those ones as well. Now, leadership. Well, congratulations, your club officer training is here today. That's well done. That's exactly, that's your first step in being a part of a leader. It's actually coming on for being a club officer for 12 months and attending club officer training. Brilliant, great. Now, the second step is around being a district officer, or more commonly as an area director. Who's been an area director here before? Yeah? What did you learn from the experience? Lots.
It was an amazing experience, building, networking, encouraging people, supporting them, and again, it really taught you a lot. To me, it was a very big job, far bigger than I was expecting, and I think that's still a common problem. But the most amazing experience if you will actually commit the time to doing it properly.
Great. Awesome. Anybody else? Any other experiences? Shannon, you gonna say something?
Yeah, it's actually very good. It's like teaching, you learn more when you're doing it, rather than you're teaching other people. They're actually doing.
So I really encourage you to think about this, because it's a really big step. And an added bonus, and a really big, I think, in the previous slide was around pathways. As an area director, you get so much more opportunities to actually do more pathways features. So it's a really big opportunity, really get yourself out there and visiting other clubs and other opportunities out there. So definitely really have a think about this. So I definitely encourage you to think about being an area director if you haven't been one already, and ask people.
There's why the asterisk.
What's that?
Because you can go for many more years.
Yeah, So obviously it's only for 12 months, but obviously can go, and many of us have gone beyond this, to be honest.
Your networking point, being involved in the leadership roles is a fantastic way of finding things like who's trying to form a new club,
Yes.
etc., where you can take on the challenges of some of the other requirements.
Exactly. I was going to talk about that. Well done. You Sure.
When it says district officer, can that be any district officer role, or does it have to be the AD role?
AD and above. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so-
And above, so people like, if you're a finance person or parliamentarian or anything, you can be
No, that doesn't count. So generally it's area director, you have to be an area director, so that counts as an area director.
Or does division director also?
Yeah, but again,
Well, second.
but again, to be the division director, you've already been an area director, so,
Okay.
so that's what,
But the
the
second
area
big
director
thing.
is a prerequisite for the other roles.
yeah, pretty much, yes, yeah. So yeah, that's leadership. Now, another one someone else has mentioned is around the DTU project. Now, what's really fun, now, effectively it was what is something what I would say when you come to the planning side of it, don't always think you have to do a DTU project right from the get-go. I would say get away through and have a think about a project you want to take on. And once you take on that project, just go away and have a think about these requirements. And as you can see, the requirements are on the board there. So don't be afraid to ask those questions. Now, these are, just think of a project which is going to really, something that's going to resonate with you, I think is the most important, because this is your project, so something that's going to work for you, not just something you just maybe want to do. That could be a club, could be district, could be anything you want to do with.
Sorry, having done the DTM from the old system,
Yes.
can you give me an example of what a DTM project is? Because I'm not up to this, you know, I'm completely past. But
But
sort of ideas.
it's probably similar to what an HBL is. It's kind of similar. So something that type of concept. So
Right, okay.
yeah, just think something like that. It could be, you could take on a project. You could run the you could organise the conference. You could organise an event. You could organise anything you can think about. Something on those sort of scales.
Right, okay, cool.
And it could be something you maybe think is something. Oh, could I try something new here?
So that, to the scale as to where you have a committee to support you, arranging as committee, is that sort
Yeah,
of level?
I would always have a guidance committee, because I think a guidance committee actually helps you on that journey. It actually gives you feedback. I think it's really, really important, because sometimes you think we know it all, but sometimes you know. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Somebody said HBL, so
High performance leadership. Yeah.
so that would be the project if you did an HBL.
Some of it's not quite called a high performance leadership, but it's very similar in that regard, though.
So it wouldn't. So if you did your high performance leadership, you couldn't just make that
No.
a project.
So if you're going to get into your life, if you have a help in your path, this is a separate project entirely.
So where it says after you've done 1, 2 and 3.
One half.
Oh.
One half.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So does it just automatically appear? Because I don't think I've
No,
got
you get a
something
request.
like
You've got to request it.
Oh,
You've got to request it. So again, you need to request. You Google Toastmaster. You will Google request it from Toastmaster, and they'll activate it for you.
So does it tell you that you should request it or anything, or you just got to know that?
No, you've got to know to request it.
You have to come to training.
Yeah. So
I think the software and the website will guide you as to where you've completed the project and tell you where you
what I've
don't
done
want
is
to
a summary today of what it is. There's
Yeah.
a whole lot more detail on the. I could go on for hours with the detail, but this is just a summary. Just so it's But I definitely encourage you to go to the pathway, go to Distinguished Toastmaster, and there's a whole files of it already to explain what you do with it. Cool. Now, the next one is quite important. This is probably the one I found probably the most challenging part of getting my Distinguished Toastmaster Award when I first took on board. Now, the district mission is, and I'm sure some of you may be familiar with this, is to build new clubs, support all clubs and achieving excellence. And these sort of things are really around understanding these around this. Now, the first part is serving as a club mentor. Now, who's been a mentor? Who's mentored a club before? Some members or been some before, yeah? So effectively, the only difference between that club mentor is you're helping a whole lot of new Toastmasters at a new club and actually helping them become part, giving you support. This is effectively the main difference between a club mentor, but this has to be of an obviously new club which is chartered though. So is that quite clear? Yeah. Yes. So now this I'll talk about some networking shortly, and you understand a bit more about this. Now the other part around this is around supporting all clubs. Is around being a club coach. The other option here is being a club coach. Is where you be approved as a club coach, and the main difference is you have to make sure that the 30th of June of the following year they are distinguished. That's the key here. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And you've got to say you coach a club that's already good.
Yeah.
And you've got to be registered as a club coach.
You should do, yes.
You can't
And
just decide you're going to do it.
no, and it would say on top of this there is a whole lot of training you got to do with it as well.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of training modules as well you got to do with it now, so that you can't just sign up. There's a whole lot of training modules. Again, there's more detail on the website. So I really encourage you, if you are keen to have a listen, know there are clubs on the district who need support as well. So it's,
It's probably easier to be a coach than a mentor at the moment because there's still struggling with clubs and new ones.
Does it have to be in our district?
no, it
No.
doesn't. Well, good question. No, it
Do it
doesn't.
online.
No, it does have to be a district. You are correct. So you can do it.
In our area or our district, because if it's our district mission.
No, it
So
doesn't.
the
You can.
district, so our district's
No, so if you.
72, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what I would say with these two things, you don't have to you can do these things outside your own, we will obviously talk with our own districts all the time, but you can do it outside your district as well. We have a whole virtual world out there now, so you don't necessarily have to be there in person to do these things.
The district mission is our district mission,
Yeah.
but it's not to do with this DTM thing on the right hand side.
But yeah, this is the whole point was brilliant, was just to understand what they just mentioned, these why they do relate to it quite well.
Yeah, so that's why I'm getting a little confused
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
So we're talking about, are we talking about District 72 mission,
yeah.
and we've got to do that with a club that belongs to District 72?
No,
No.
it's
Or actually,
No.
it's any district anywhere in the world?
Yes, that's correct. The distributions around the world, so yeah, so hence why, So-
Quick question, these requirements and the club officer,
yeah,
do they have to be done since the launch of Pathways?
they do, you are correct, yes.
really.
Yeah, because I was an area governor
Petite, no,
and
no,
under the old,
yeah, sorry,
prior to the launch of Pathways,
yeah.
and have done those things prior to the launch of Pathways.
Now some of the stuff you may have done in the past can be still used accredited, but not obviously some parts can't be used, but some parts you can definitely use as credit if you haven't used it already.
I think I've already got the advanced leader silver,
Okay,
which
yes,
uses
so-
those things.
Okay, yeah, so what I would say is anything under the legacy system you cannot use, and then, so this has to be the pathways.
Right, yeah, so to achieve DTM I will need to serve another year as an area, as a district officer.
No, so,
Areas.
No,
Well, I've already got my advanced leader silver.
No, that doesn't,
It's
we lost that
different.
about 2 years ago,
yeah,
when they said you can no longer use the old stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to clarify.
yeah, no, so if you've been a past governor in the past and you haven't used that, because they have a record of that, then you can still use that.
But the,
The actual
that
features.
went towards the advanced leader silver, didn't it?
No,
that was just standalone by itself.
the advanced
Okay.
leader silver didn't need any other awards, I don't think, from memory.
But even if it did, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
DTM.
The HDL was
DTM,
partly
yeah,
advanced
still
leader silver.
Yeah, so there's a few things to think about. So these are some of the questions which these are great questions, by the way. That's
And you
good.
can actually go into your profile on TI to see
Yeah.
what years you've
Yeah.
done leadership roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are always they'll still be there. If you've done it for 12 months, that will still be there in the system.
And you can always ask your district to show you where that is.
Yes.
We can give you that.
I know that one, I was just wondering what bits of things done prior to Pathways
Yeah.
still credited towards.
Yeah. So things like your district leadership except in the past that will still be recognised, but the education awards will be.
Correct. Brilliant.
So you have to you have to know the
Yeah,
pathway.
specifically looking at the items you've got here,
Yeah.
I think you'll be
club mentor, running Speechcraft,
Yeah.
kind of, I can't remember what bits counted towards the the advanced league to silver, which
Okay,
basically
yeah.
saying that
Yeah.
independent of that.
You probably are right to use them if you haven't used them for a DTM before.
No, I haven't
Yeah.
received the DTMs.
No, so you could be fine, but maybe just investigation, we'll get back to you on that one, definitely. That's cool. Alright, so that's the first part. Now, what is important to recognise is you have to do one, the first you have to do either one of the first ones, and you have to do one of the second. That is the distinction for a pathways DTU. So this obviously serving as a club sponsor, so when you start a new club, there's a sponsor spot available as well as a mentor spot. And what I'd say with a sponsor and a mentor is a sponsor is really around the administration side of things. It's actually doing a whole lot of paperwork, getting forms together, bank accounts, all that stuff you need to do to set up a new club. That is what really a sponsor is. That's one of their main roles. Obviously doing other stuff as well, but that is probably the main role of the sponsor. So, is that nice and clear, clear definition of education? Yeah.
And a mentor serves 6 months.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. So that 6 months from chartering, that is correct.
Oh.
Yeah. Different chartering. Yeah. So, Derek.
Yeah, question. When you refer to conducting speechcraft or youth leadership programs, what do you mean? Do you mean leading them? Or do you mean
I was gonna talk,
participating like
yeah.
in the actual
Okay.
delivery?
Yeah, so hence why, so you need to conduct the speechcraft course, so you can participate, but that's not really the credit, you need to be the main coordinator.
Right, okay, so, you need to lead it, yeah.
Yeah, effectively the main person running it, so
Yeah.
organising it, show records that they get the credit.
Yeah.
But again, this is another great way to get club for us as well, but again, and also can bring an interest in the club, and you may find members of the people from that may come members of the club as well, depending on how that goes as well. So it's a really good opportunities as well. And the other one's youth leadership course. So I had an opportunity many years ago to go to Wastown School, do a couple of sessions with them. And that was another amazing session as well. But again, you have to organise, be the main organiser rather than just participating.
That's primary school level.
Yeah, primary school level, that's cool, yeah.
Primary school.
Yeah, the primary school intermediate for youth leadership course.
Is Waystone Club still going on in the primary school?
Well, sorry, there's no clubs here, they're just run youth leadership courses. 5 minutes, okay, that's cool.
We did youth leadership course for adventurers, which is the next
Yep.
level up from scouts.
Yep.
We ended up getting 2 members from
Yep.
that, so yeah, I
That's
spoke
cool.
to you later.
Yeah, cool. So that's those ones. So now this is what I'm talking about here. Now we talk about networking here. Now the reason why I talk about networking, you just mentioned before. Networking is really important when you think about building clubs because the 3 of us got DTM'd at the same time. But the whole point of this, because from a conversation, coming to an event like this, we just sat down and we were just talking about random stuff and thought we want to build a club. So we got to group us together and we did it together, networking. Planning, commitment, and all that networking, we did it together. And 6 months later, we actually formed the club. So really it's about working together, networking, actually starting to get to know people and actually reaching out. I think this is what I think is really important actually. And it's like you're getting from your club from A to B, but yes, there are peaks and troughs, and you're going to go on this, and having that support along the way really makes a big difference. Having the support around you, the networking sort of thing to help you lift you up, having those mentors. So I really encourage you to think about if you are going to really think about a club, there's some great ideas out there, there's some possible ideas. Have a think of getting a group of you together and work together. Everyone brings different skill sets as well, which I think is really, really important. So some might be great at publicity, for example, and others might be very good at just organising other paperwork and stuff like that. So whatever is going to work. So, were you going to say something? No, good. All good.
I can say a lot, but I'm not.
Oh, good. But you have already think about that. So I really encourage the networking, so all this stuff, but networking is a crucial. It's not just for clubs, anything you do. Networking is a really big part of getting distinguished Toastmaster, or anything you do at Toastmasters. Get involved, just talk to other people. Don't just go beyond your club and in your area, just talk to other people, and you may find opportunities. So what are some new club ideas? Just think about this. There's community, there's corporate ideas. So it might be a work club, might be a work opportunity. Sometimes it's at work. So just think about that. And there are quite different mentalities. You've been part of work clubs. Sharon will understand that. They're quite different. But again, there are opportunities. The speciality clubs. A good example is Kurukuriroa, which is a Terraria club. It's a great example. And there's Cyber 5 now. So this is an online club. That was from around the world. half of our members are live in China. So to me, you don't have to think beyond the district. So you don't always have to think within 72. That's a couple of things to think about. And obviously, in a new club that they're doing at the moment is Central Otago Toastmasters. That is now they're starting now, but some of the members I might be visiting as well. They come in by hybrid, by teams. So you don't necessarily have to be based in the same city anymore. You can actually use teams, use the tools available. And the other thing I want to really important to mention here is it's new members. You need 17 new members and three experienced members when you start with charter or club. Or the other option is especially for other clubs, you can have dual members, 20 dual members. So you can be an extra club on top of what you're doing at the moment. So this becomes a second club for that, so that our members are really good as Toastmasters. Now, so I'm aware of probably risk running at time, yes. So any other final questions?
This is probably a question for the other group. But bearing in mind you chose not to do a hybrid contest this year,
Yeah.
could a project be conducting a hybrid contest for those clubs that are hybrid as an informal contest?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, great example. Yep. That's a great example. Yep. So that's a good example. Sure. Yep.
Sorry, so with these two options for the getting to 20,
Yeah.
what's the difference between the two? I know you speak numbers, but
So
I don't understand
very
the
quickly,
differentiation.
the new members is the new member club is 17 brand new members, transferred or reinstated, or and the 3 new plus 3 experienced, or the other option is 20 dual members.
Any mix, is it?
What's that?
You can have new members and
Reinstated.
reinstated.
Yes, yes, you can.
And brand new members in that 20?
Yeah, yes, but they're for the new members, yes.
No, for the dual.
Oh,
Dual has to be
Yeah, everybody has to be dual.
That's correct, yes.
oh,
Okay, I'll go back to this. I'm getting the
I know,
horizon.
you're struggling now.
Yeah, well, good. So I'll send that through, the details for that, and just remember, getting started is really important. Just, and come and find me, myself or anybody else, ask questions.
And just a final note, I'm actually looking to do a few more training sessions and I'm looking to do one going further into D10 because I want to know a bit more about the different things. So watch out, you might be getting covered by Push and J, but that will probably be a little bit later on when we're not so chaotic.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Thank you.